The transfer portal isn't as crazy as it was back in December, but there's still a number of really solid pieces that are still available. Let's take a look at the best players currently sitting in the transfer portal. Before we get to today's video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. Probably the best player available in the portal is former Oregon State running back Damien Martinez. Ever since making his debut in 2022, he's been one of the more underrated running backs in all of college football. As a freshman in 2022, he ran for just under 1,000 yards with 7 rushing scores. This past season, he improved his numbers across the board, rushing for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns in only 12 games. Over the last 2 seasons, he has 12 games with at least 100 rushing yards and 9 games with at least 1 rushing touchdown. I'm not exactly sure where he's going to end up, but whoever lands him is going to be getting one of the better running backs in all of college football. At this point, I'm sure a lot of top tier programs could still use a running back, so it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. Colorado lost a pretty big name in cornerback Corman Malone. He was a 5-star recruit in the 2023 class and was considered to be the top cornerback of his recruiting class. Malone flipped to Colorado to play for Deion Sanders after he originally committed to play for Miami. At the time, Malone said he wanted to get coached by the best defensive back out there. Well, I guess that lasted only 1 season. He appeared in 9 games in 2023, recording only 13 tackles and 2 pass breakups. Malone saw a significant increase in playing time during the final 3 games of the season, where he had 170 total snaps as the starter. In comparison, he played just 108 snaps over the first 9 games. It sounds like there may have been a little bit of bad blood between McCain and Sanders, so he's going to get a brand new start and a brand new program. Another notable addition to the transfer portal is Penn State wide receiver KeAndre Lambert. In 2023, he led the Nittany Lions with 53 receptions and had 700 receiving yards. James Franklin was asked about Lambert this past week, but he said he's only going to talk about the guys that played in the game and that are in the locker room. Lambert started portions of the past 4 seasons for Penn State, and he ranks inside the team's top 20 in career receptions and receiving yards. With how bad Penn State's offense looked last year, I don't blame him for wanting to leave and get an opportunity somewhere else. Do you remember McGee? Well, he's back in the portal. After spending time at Oregon, the once highly touted recruit transferred to Jackson State last offseason. He entered the portal back in December, but opted to remain at Jackson State. Now it looks like he changed his mind once again and is in fact going to be going into the portal. McGee caught 19 passes for 140 yards with 4 touchdowns in his lone season at Jackson State. He was the 9th ranked running back in the 21 recruiting class and was ranked as the top player in his state. He committed to Oregon in December of 2018. He played in 13 of 14 games as a true freshman for Oregon, starting the season at running back before being transitioned over to wide receiver. He ran for 60 yards with a touchdown while adding 7 receptions for 80 yards in 2021. He briefly entered the transfer portal following his freshman season, but he returned to Oregon. He played in 6 games, catching 11 passes for 67 yards before officially entering the transfer portal last offseason. Then he ended up at Jackson State, where he had career highs across the board, but he still hasn't lived up to the hype of his once highly touted recruiting name. A pretty big defensive name entered the portal in former TCU starting defensive tackle Dominic Williams. You can make the case he's the best defensive player that's currently available in the portal. As a freshman in 2022, he had 27 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. He followed that up by starting every game for TCU in 2023. He finished his sophomore campaign with 33 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. He was named Honorable Mention All-Big 12 in 2023 and was an Honorable Mention All-Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year. After transferring to UCLA last offseason, quarterback Colin Schley is back in the portal. UCLA's quarterback room is already pretty full, so Colin Schley decided to test the waters somewhere else. He spent 3 years at Kent State and played in 11 games in 2022. He threw for 2,100 yards with 13 touchdowns. In 2023 with the Bruins, he was mostly used in a backup role as he threw for only 200 yards with 2 touchdowns, but he did have 42 carries and ran for over 400 yards with 3 rushing touchdowns. It was a role that he actually thrived in. With UCLA having a brand new coaching staff and Ethan Garbers being the runaway favorite for the quarterback 1 job, Schley is going to look elsewhere once again, entering the portal for the 2nd consecutive year. With a pretty deep running back room, Ohio State running back Dallas Hayden put his name into the portal. Just last week, Hayden said he was very confident that he could earn a role at Ohio State behind Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. Hayden really put his name on the map in 2022 as a freshman when he ran for over 500 yards with 5 touchdowns. It looked like he was going to be a focal part of the offense moving forward. However, he appeared in only 3 games last season and had only 19 carries for the Buckeyes. After limited action in 2023 and a really deep running back room, the carries likely aren't going to be there for him in 2024. Former Colorado safety Miles Slusher hit the portal after a quiet season with the Buffaloes. He came over via the portal last offseason from Arkansas. Unfortunately, he had a very limited season as injuries allowed him to appear in only a handful of games. Despite the setbacks, he was able to record 17 tackles with a sack and a pass breakup in 4 games. Overall, during his career, he has 110 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 interceptions. Slusher was widely considered to be the best defensive player added via the portal, not named Travis Hunter last year. According to Pro Football Focus, Slusher graded out at a 68 score over 200 defensive snaps last year. If he's healthy and ready to play, he should be a pretty solid addition for whoever lands him. We're going to wrap up today's video with one more Colorado player in running back Alton McCaskill. It was just a couple of seasons ago where he was considered to be one of the top up-and-coming running backs in all of college football. He played just 4 games last year for Colorado before redshirting. He broke out with Houston back in 2021 when he was named the American Conference's Rookie of the Year. He ran for nearly 1,000 yards that season and had 16 touchdowns that led all true freshmen and set Houston true freshman records. Last season with the Buffaloes, he had only 14 carries for 60 yards before he asked Deion Sanders to be redshirted. McCaskill missed the entire 2022 season after he tore his ACL the previous spring. So after becoming one of the top running backs in all of college football back in 2021, we've only seen 14 carries from him the last 2 seasons. Still, a guy who ran for 1,000 yards as a true freshman should be a valuable addition for whoever adds him. Well, that wraps it up for today's video. Which player in the transfer portal do you think is going to be the biggest addition for their new team? Or is there a really solid player in the portal I didn't get to in today's video? Whoever it is, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos all off season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.